everybody. Once again, I'm so excited to come to you today and share this video with you. And it's going to be a little bit different starting off. Before I just jump right into the project that I'm working on, I have a little story to share with you. The item that I'm going to be working on today is not from a thrift store. It's not from a yard sale. It is actually something that my grandmother, Fegley, which is my dad's mother, she made a long time ago. I'm afraid to tell you how many years ago, okay? But what it is, a picture that she made. She wood burned it. And you know, there's so many times, like I said, this picture, it was out a long time ago, then it was kind of packed for a while, now it's been back out, and I've actually already painted the frame once and didn't really like it, so I'm kind of working with it because I love the fact that this came from my grandmother. Like, she made this. And so instead of just throwing it away or just keeping it stored, you know, I thought, you know what, if I'm going to keep it, I'm going to redo it, I'm going to make it where I like it, and it'll fit into our home. And so that's what I'm doing today. I'm kind of just reviving it a little bit, brightening it up a little bit, and I'll show it to you in just a minute. But the story that I wanted to share with you is that my grandmother, Nanny Fegley, I call both my grandmothers Nanny. I have a Nanny Fegley and a Nanny Ward, and you'll hear stories about my Nanny Ward. A lot of you already know stories about her, because if you know her, you know how precious she is. And like I said, I will definitely have stories about her. But today, I'm actually talking about my Nanny Fegley. And my Nanny Fegley, I was with her quite a bit too when I was younger, because we lived close to them, or sometimes actually lived with them. And so she kept me some while my parents worked, and she was a very talented lady. I don't know how much schooling she had. I don't think it was much, but what she had was just gifted to her. She could take things that normally you would probably throw it in the trash, and she would take it and literally she would make something beautiful out of it. That's just the way she was. And I'm so glad as a child that I got to hang out with her. I got to spend time with her and watch the things that she did. And people tell me, you know, that's where my creativity came from, was from her and from my dad. That side of the family, they just were very gifted in that. And my grandmother, she made the most beautiful things out of trash, literally. Okay, cans. Coke cans, beer cans, not like vegetable cans, but soda cans, you know, that you drink out of. She would take those, she would wash them out, she would cut them up, she would make intricate doll furniture, like for a doll house, okay? She would put cloth cushions for the seats. She would make little scrolls and just this intricate details to the backs of the chairs, to the legs of the chairs. I wish so bad I had pictures of that. I don't, and I wish I did. But anyways, beautiful, beautiful stuff. And she did wood burning, which is what I'm going to show you today. She did some beautiful wood burning pictures. And she also did, you know, back in the day, a long time ago, like when I was younger, our Christmas ornaments, they were like glass, or a kind of a metal glass, if that's a thing. But you know what I'm talking about. Well, a lot of times if they broke, you know, you just pick them up, throw them away. Well, not her. She would take all those broken pieces and keep them. If there was a pretty bottle, the color of it she liked, that was needing to go to the trash, she would wash it out and keep it, break it up. She would keep all those glass pieces, and she would sit down and create beautiful pictures out of them. And that's the main story I wanted to share with you today is she had a picture that was a peacock. I love peacocks, and even back then I loved blues, aqua, turquoise, that whole scheme, you know, or those shades of colors. And she made it. And normally when she would make the glass ones, she would kind of have a background of velvet, crushed velvet. They were beautiful. And my grandpa, Papa, he would always make her frames. He was a carpenter. My dad was a carpenter. They always had some scrap wood from jobs that they were doing. So Papa would make her frames. And gosh, I wish I had more of that too. But there again, I don't. But that's why it's a treasure what I do have. But anyways, So she made this beautiful picture on velvet of a peacock with this broken glass, beautiful. Well, I was only like in kindergarten, maybe first grade, but I'm pretty sure it was kindergarten, and we were having show and tell at our school. And so I asked her, Nanny, can I please take that picture to show and tell? And she was like, no problem, yes. Well, okay, we lived in Dallas at the time, and so I had to get on a commuter bus, like with adults that were going to work or going shopping or wherever. You know, the kind where they open the door, you get in, you pay money, you go sit down. That's the kind of bus that I had to ride to school and from school by myself, okay? It was terrifying. And my biggest fear was when it came time to get off, that bus driver was going to shut that door, and there I was in the bus, and I couldn't get off, and I didn't know where I would end up. So when it was my turn to get off the bus, I was shooting it out of there. Okay, so she says yes. I take the picture, or I'm going to take the picture. That morning, I'm getting ready to leave. And the last thing that she said to me was, whatever you do, don't forget the picture on the bus. Don't leave it on the bus. Okay, Nanny, I won't. Go to show and tell, show it, great, everybody loves it. Get back on the bus, come home. The bus stops, the door opens, I shoot out the door, and about the time that I realized I left the picture in the bus, the door closed and the bus took off. Okay, even then, I was sick. This was very traumatic for me. I did not want to go home. I thought of every place that I could go besides going home because I could not bring myself to tell her that I left that beautiful picture of hers on the bus. But I did. And so I did make it home, and you know how it always is, you think it's going to be so much worse. She was so good to me. She said, you know, I was crying, you know, and she was like, don't worry about it. It's just a picture. I'll make another one. And so it turned out fine, okay? But that is just a story that has stayed with me and will stay with me all of my life. And I wish I had that picture, but I don't. Left it on a bus. So someone has a beautiful picture in their house of a peacock. I hope they've enjoyed it all these years. So back to what I'm doing today. Today the picture that I'm doing is a wood burn picture, and I hope that you actually can see that. I will get the camera a little bit later and I'm going to get some close-ups of it. But this frame is the frame that my papa made, and it started out the color of this. It was just raw wood. And so I'm trying to make this pop a little bit. So what I want to do is I'm going to work and play with this frame a little bit. I'm going to do a little bit of painting. But look at this wood burning. I mean, that is beautiful. And the thing about it is, she didn't draw at first. She would just sit down, have her wood burner, and she would just start going to town and come up with these beautiful pictures without even drawing them. Okay, that's how she did her glass pictures. She didn't draw anything. She just didn't have a pattern. She just went to town. And so this is very beautiful, and I want to just enhance it a little bit. And so that's what I'm going to work on today. And like I said, I know it was a little bit lengthy. I'm sorry, but you know what? Sometimes there's just some stories you need to share, you need to tell. So I'm going to get on to working with the picture, and I hope you enjoyed that. And you know what? If you have an item, something that was in your family that someone gave to you or made or whatever that's very special to you, that you want to hang on to it, you want to preserve it, please share it. Put it in the comments. Put a picture of it. Tell us about it. I love that kind of stuff. And so I welcome you to do that. Share your stories too, and your pictures. Oh, this is the back too. Just kind of shows, you know, it's homemade, okay? It is straight up homemade. Beautiful. So I'm going to get started working on it, and we'll see how it turns out.